Welcome to the Invincible Innovation Show, the podcast for changemakers. Each week, I talk to the most fascinating entrepreneurs and innovation leaders about innovation, strategy, and design. Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and sports. Welcome to Invincible Innovation Live Show. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Mazor, Kario, innovation and value creation expert, and I'll be your host. And today I have a very special guest. Hi, Matheus. How are you?
Good, very good. Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here. Matheus Provinciali, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Manager at StartUB, University of Barcelona. So happy to see you here, Matheus.
Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you about innovation, about sports and entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and we had a few talks in the past, so I'm sure it's going to be fun. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and you're so much invited to join the discussion and ask questions, and we'd love to hear what you think. And now we can start. So I know that you've been teaching entrepreneurship for so many years. So how could we teach better entrepreneurship?
Yeah, that's a very complex question because until now, entrepreneurship, there is no rule or some methodologies still created like to provide a specific way to build an entrepreneur. But I think there are tools and training sessions that might be able to help them to be more prepared to be an entrepreneur and face the challenge that they're going to have while they're building their company or their business. So as we are going to talk about sports, I try to associate a lot with sports because it's my passion, but I think it's also a result of performance. So as much as you train in something, as better as you get. So if we apply that to entrepreneurship, it's pretty much the same. So we need to train in a holistic way, different characteristics for us to improve all of them. So what we do is we analyze and create a diagnostic of the competences that the entrepreneurs, they already have, and identify they do not have a very good level of it, and start working on it. So that's one of the ways I try to manage with the students that I have, and also the projects that I'm mentoring at the StartUB. So I try to personalize and customize a little bit the needs that they have. But it's like entrepreneurship, it's all about mindset too. So it's how you can find a way to overcome situations. People put it like problems. I think it's just situations that are steps that you need to go through, overcome, and see what are the learning process that you have from each one of them. And once you understand and you see it repeatedly happening on your process, you can do it faster or in a slow way, but you overcome it. So nowadays there are much more tools for the entrepreneurs, because at the end it's understandable that we need to be very multitasking nowadays, but we have more tools to do that and to see and to test and to try to understand how can we improve in each one of these areas. But what I think is really important is the passion and the entrepreneur to try to find his own proposal, like
what he needs to
do.
I think the analogy between someone who's doing sports and someone who's doing entrepreneurship is it makes sense. And I know that you've done both, and we're going to talk about that one afterwards. But the fact that someone who's doing sports, he's very talented, to start, he needs to build this mindset of I could do it. And even if I don't have the capability right now, I could build it. Still, they need these core capabilities. So what would be these like talents or capabilities that you think an entrepreneur needs?
Uh, how how can I prioritize some of them, or just mention quite a few? Like listening and understanding is one very important, but I think it's the capacity of research somehow. I think that's something that we are taught at school since we are a kid, and the research is one of the most important for me at the beginning, because it's when you are able to identify the opportunities in the market, or to look for new ideas, or to mix different ideas to create your own ideas. So I think research is a very important tool.
Yeah.
Communication for sure. Like I think there are no entrepreneurs that they have not been a good communicators. I think it's important, because you need to talk to people, you need to sell your product, you need to sell your ideas. So that's what we try to empower either, and to train a lot, because it's all about training. As much as you train, better you get. So this is one point. I think the capacity to build teams, like to be related with people, understand their problems, their situations, and try to align. And I know another thing that I suppose that is very important either is the project management capacity. Like how you manage the time and the execution that you have to do. If you need to work on in so many different areas, it's important to understand how long you're going to dedicate for each task that you have to do alongside your daily activities, and try to find this balance to achieve your goals.
Yeah, I think that what you mentioned about the research is like the capability to be open-minded and curious. Because if you don't have these two, you will not be willing and really able to do that appropriately, I guess. And I think that one more thing that I would add to what you've said is persistence or grit. So the same thing that you have when you want to be like a really good marathon runner, you have the same thing when you want to be a very good entrepreneur, successful, and to get to a point that you're achieving good results.
Sometimes we create this separation, about the innate characteristics that it comes with you and you develop. But for sure, the capacity of resilience, like to support and to understand that things takes time for you to build it. So it's this capacity. I think every entrepreneur has it. Ones more than other ones, and the ones that really achieve success, I think, are the ones that are able to handle this situation for a quite long time than other ones, because things doesn't come fast.
Yeah, you need to have that in life in general, but if you want to be in this roller coaster of entrepreneurship, you really need that. So let's go into the startups world within sports. So what is important for us to know when creating a new startup for a sports startup? How is it different?
I had been working for quite a long time in the sports industry, and observing different kind of startups. So I think the main point about sports startups is to really understand what is the problem, because sometimes many projects, they just try to create solutions supposing that will be applicable to sports, but they don't even understand the pains of that the institutions, like the organizations, like clubs or federations, or also the athletes and the coaches. So it's quite a mix of knowledge that is necessary, like how can you convert, for example, one technology that Gatorade has launched quite a very, 3 or 2 months ago, about how they just put a sticker on your arm, and then they measure the level of dehydration that you had alongside your practicing your sports. So that is connected to a device. So what technology are we using to understand why dehydration is an important thing when you are talking about performance in sports. So it's a very high level of specification that you need to have complementary knowledge to develop, and it's not just a simple app. So it's a combination of different profiles in the team, and I think that's very important to have it.
Yeah, but what you mentioned, that you need to really know the industry and the people and who's you're building for, and you gave example of the athletes and the coach and the federation, so forth, is something that you always need to know who you're building for, who are the end users, who is the client, who is going to pay, so forth. So why do you think that in sports it is different, or it needs more of that?
Because sports is a very conservatory industry. If we compare to the other industries that they have been using and implementing the technology, and also the management people that are still involved on football. So like, I would say it's an old generation that they were not that willing to adapt and accept the benefits of the new technologies. So sometimes it's a cultural thing that you have inside the organizations that is hard to change, and they do not see all the intangible value that the technology could provide to the club in the first moment. But it has been changing. It's not like it's easy to say nowadays, not about the crypto and the blockchain and all these technologies that on the financial system they have come like many years ago. No, it's not like in sports. We are progressing, but we still have this component that we have to find also the balance to use the technology, but do not lose the body activity. Know that we still are human-centered on sports, and how technology will influence until a certain level. So we need to care about that too, which is important. And that's why I think, and there are a lot of bureaucracy too, when you're going to sell to these kind of organizations. For you to be able to put your business into the sport industry, we know there are big players that they already, own many outlets for you to introduce your solutions. But it's ongoing. It's a process that have been changing. I'm not sure if the community or the audience is aware, but like Barcelona, 3 weeks ago, have launched a project to become one of the biggest sports startup hubs here in Europe.
Oh, so, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Olympic Stadium, it will become a hub where they are going to be incubated in sports in startups, and will be a lab for new sports startup to develop new technologies. So for esports either. So Barcelona won't position itself as one sports hub, very important in the world. So we have to take advantage of the brand that has been built since the 92 games.
Yeah, I'm sure that you have the brand, when you're saying Barcelona, especially like football. I think that most people, even me, when I went to Barcelona, I went to visit your stadium. So, and I'm not a sports person. So I guess that leveraging that brand and their awareness, it really makes sense to start growing these companies in Barcelona and in the area. But what I think that what I'm hearing from you is the sports industry is not that different than any other industry, which is very established, traditional, successful, and that have lots of resources. And if you're taking maybe banking or finance, which is very different, but in that aspect, it's very the same. The fact that they're doing so much money currently and they're so successful currently makes them think again and again, do they really want to try something new because it's working? And the only thing that could move them is if another like their competitors will try something and it will work, and then they will have no other option just to do, because maybe the players will play better or something would be like affecting their revenues, and then they'll need to do it. The question is, could they do it fast enough once it happens?
Nowadays, they are much more prepared, and they have already teams incorporated, at least at the big clubs. They already have teams. For example, Barca here, they have the Barca Hub either. So they are propelling innovation, not just in these 3 different levels, but they have and accepting startups either, and they have their own projects inside, because it's also the way you want to position yourself as a leader or not. So if you just wait for other ones to launch previous than you, so you won't be the first, you won't be the leader, you are not as innovative as other ones. You are just copying or representing what the other ones are doing. So I think it's nowadays they have this capacity to do that, the bigger clubs, but it still depends on the people that they have behind to manage and to be able to create all these innovations, and pretty much it's about experiencing, because they have the players, the football clubs, they are becoming, as I say, entertainment companies nowadays.
Right.
They have a very huge audience. So it just depends the way they want to relate with these people, because nowadays they have a lot of information about their fan base, and they can, personalize and create different experience considering the different ages of fans that they have.
Of course. So we just talked before we started that for me, when we're saying innovation in sports, it's like, I don't know, they're playing with the same ball, the same place. It doesn't look so innovative. Like a few years ago, it seems the same to me. So could you tell us about a few examples of very successful sports startups and innovation that you know about?
Yeah, we can look at many different levels, as was mentioned to you before. Like we can look at since the athletes side, like the development since 100 years ago. Like we can start with the ball. The age of the ball, it just got lighter, like faster. It changed completely. The materials use it. Since like the cleats, the boots for the football players, the age, the size, the same. Like nowadays, it may be age 116 grams, which is very light. Like the textile for the equipment, it's just appropriated for them to dry themselves and improve performance somehow. So that could be one analysis. We could look at the technology, like the VAR or the line goal and the cameras, all the technology that has been implemented to improve the game as itself. And also on the management team, on the clubs, like the innovation is not just about the technology, but also the entire culture, as I was saying, like how can we innovate in processes, which is what are the lack that is the big lack that they have into these organizations. It's like not just how to generate it and to be a creative, but how to implement it and make things in a different way. That is part of the changing that has been happening quite a few years.
Yeah, I could imagine the training is something that innovation is involved in, really, because training is really getting these athletes ready and making them better. And I guess that they have so many measurements of these athletes. So we're, as a human, not being I'm not messy at all, but I know my heart rate and how much I slept and everything. So I guess that for them, it's like a lab walking, just knowing exactly what's going on with these people.
Yeah, their technology also for recovering after the trainings, after the games, injury and just regular technology for them to recovering faster after the game. So That's another technology that is very linked with health. That is for sure combined for this kind of analysis. But as you were asking me, that there is a startup from Barcelona that they develop a technology to improve the ticketing selling for clubs, where they created the 3D about the stadium. So when you're going to buy the ticket for the fans, it's a much better experience because you can see and choose your place and see how it will be your view from that area, which is nowadays looks something simple. But if you look at 10 years ago, the e-commerce part from the clubs, it wasn't that developed. So you couldn't buy tickets online. You have to go to the stadiums, you stay on the line for quite a long time, and or on the second-hand market that happens either on the sports yet. So these are the kind of solutions that could be developed to reduce this kind of situation, which will help the clubs to improve the fan experience, while they attend to these kind of events.
Right. So when you're thinking about entrepreneurship, especially in sports, and we talked about the traditional organization there are, what is the biggest obstacles to innovation and entrepreneurship, especially in sports?
I think is still the lack of resource to invest in more initiatives. For example, I could say I had worked with the Singapore government to develop a technology for table tennis. So it's not just about football; it's in many different sports, and which your country is already good. There are technologies that will help you to improve, but now they have this budget to invest in improving in their athletes, because the countries, they already figure out that like how is impactful one gold medal in Olympic Games to promote sports to their future generations. So the swimmer from Singapore, after he won his first gold medal, there was a boom in Singapore that people just get more involved with sports, and it happens in our countries. So it depends. It's part of strategic, for the countries in these terms, if you want to promote more sports activities. And it's not just about the technology. The technology is one way for us to know about what we are doing and what data we want to collect from these kind of activities that we are doing. But since a long time ago, I think since sports started, it's more about physical activity. And it's an initiative. So you have to start. You have to practice and do it.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned two things. First is like we need the resources and the policies in order to do that, because we need to invest in it in order for that to grow. And second, the goal for a country to make people be more active and do more sports, it's not that obvious in all of the countries. But for me, if you ask me, I would say that it's like health and mental health and communities. And there are so many things that could be done through sports. But when I imagine like Singapore, what would be the first thing that would come to their mind if they want to invest in sports?
What would come to their mind?
Like health. It's because they want the people to be healthy and like pay less for health services, or
because like there are many studies that prove that people that are more active sports activity, they have longer life. So it's like for us and for me, I try to promote sports either because it's like the same way we have to eat 3 times a day, or we have to shower and shave our teeth. So like you have to do sports too. It's part of your life that you have to activate your body. And if we just go back to the old times on the society, the development that many of the activities were manually. So that was the part of life that was included in our work. life, but it was associated with personal and body activities.
Right.
And then with the technology, people just let this and reduce the amount of body activities on their personal life, which is not good. So and also there are research about in companies, people that practice more sports, they're more willing to to do not get sick, to attend more to the workplace. So it's a benefit for everyone, and it's about conscience. The same way we have to be related to our friends and socialize, and I think we have figured out more than ever, with this pandemic situation.
Right.
So sports is the same. It's part of our life that might be included in our daily activities.
The first thing that comes to my mind is esport, because esport is not really, it's moving your thumbs, I guess, like this. But I had a talk with my teenage boy yesterday, and I told him, with all due respect to esport, it's not sports. And he said, yeah, it's going to be in the Olympics. It's the same as like running. And we had a discussion about it. So I would love to hear what you think about esports.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the merit to discuss if it's sports or not. Like the games reproduce what we play sports in real life. Some of them, others don't. But like if we talk specific about sports, it's an industry that is growing a lot, and they are caring about their players as they're caring about football players. The industry is developing itself very fast, that they are getting very well paid to do that, but they are getting also complementary support. Like they are having psychologists, they have nutritionists, they are having a personal trainer for them to do activities, or either people that are helping them with their posture to correct, to do activity like a yoga or other kind of activities, complementary a part of the time that they're training. So I think, and not, it's not necessary like that, but if they also practice the sports that they're playing, probably they will be better, because they know movements that they do not know how to do it if they haven't done in their personal life. Because sports is all about movement. As much movement you can do with your body oriented to the goals, better you do it. So you just need to know which kind of movements you need to repeat in a better way for you to improve your performance.
Yeah. But when I talked to my son, I told him, in order to be healthy physically and mentally, you need to move your body. And once you're just viewing these games or playing these games, you're not doing that. And I think the physical health is less important than the mental health aspect of it. Because when you're going and you have a team of players, or you're running with a friend, whatever, it's something that is ventilating your soul, not only the muscles are moving. But when you're closed in a room and you're a teenager and you're more or less in the room most of your days, especially right now, everybody's in lockdown and such. So I think that it's like taking the essence of what is good sports and the value of good sports. And I don't think it's the same, but maybe because it's considered the same, or it looks for the viewers the same, the experience for the viewers is very similar, it doesn't matter for them.
I think it's all about balance in life for everything that you do it. So it's impacted, that people are really separated from each other. But imagine that these kids, they were just training or playing together at the same space, which used to happen before. So it's easier to somehow create activities for them to do in groups, which is mainly the purpose of sports, or some of them, the group sports. But you can bring them on to these other side of the sports, and not just be isolated. I'm sure that they're working more with their brain than with their body. But like they need to work on their body and other parts of their life, that socializing and all this stuff, to be able to perform well either. If we take an example from the Michael Phelps, the swimmer, for his last Olympic Games, he wasn't, people said that he was not going to return, he was not going to perform as he used to be before. And the way he found to get motivated, it was to controlling and measuring his dreams, the sleeping time. So that was what makes him perform well, because he were able to measure how much sleep does he need every day after the training performance he had. And we know we need to sleep. So how long does we need to sleep? So it's all about balance too, and performance depends on our body conditions in everything we do.
Sure, I totally agree. So if we're going back to startups and teaching people to be entrepreneurships and to be entrepreneurs, like, what do you think is the most important element for a successful startup, especially in sports?
I think it's the team. The team is what leads a startup to be successful or not. Because if they are motivated and they have the knowledge to at least start building what they believe, they will be more willing to learn and to overcome the hard situations in this process. And it's more about believing, never giving up, there will be hard times, and as many books as I read about other successful entrepreneurs, that they say after your 50th year with the company is when things start showing up and happening, that you really feel comfortable that you were able to build it. So like there are kids that they are just trying to become an entrepreneur, as we could say like that they put themselves a time like 2 years, and if in 2 years it does not work, I'm not going to continue. But they do not know that they are still on the process and in a critical time, that after that is when things are going to show up. So it's about the perseverance that they could have to build and also be surrounded by people that are really keen to help you with their experience and networking, because it's about people. People can open doors that leads you to be, successful or not in your business, or at least allow you to try new things and see if they're going to work or not. Because if not, you have learned, you have experience, and you have dedicated time to something that you really love. That is, work on the sports industry for many people. So I think that's an important.
Yeah. So one of the things that we didn't touch, and now you just mentioned to me, is that the fact that you moved a lot and you tried new things in your way. And I know that you're from Brazil originally, and you studied law, and you've been an entrepreneur, and you had a startup, and now you're teaching in academy. So all these changes. So could you tell us about like this journey of what did you learn from moving to many other places and trying new things on the way?
Yeah, I try to build myself, like coming from Brazil and looking from leading countries in other aspects. So moving to Barcelona with my law background as a lawyer, I had the opportunity and experience to work with big organizations, assessing them with tax law. So it was a very delicate aspect of the business. So I think this law background gave me the possibility to see and understand what were the implications that a company might face or an entrepreneur might face while they're building a company. Because it's all about bureaucracy in all countries. There are
Yeah.
some change,
Right.
but it's all about that. It's about
Right.
contracts and how you build trust with your partners, how you sell your products. So that has helped me, to look into these areas. Then when I moved to Barcelona, and I work for a software company, so I had the possibility to learn a little bit more how it was to manage and build a company with tech. And then it leads me to build my own company. That I joined and then I merged my passion for sports with this knowledge, with technology, and the experience that I had with as a lawyer, to try to manage a plan to put my business into work. And I try to learn from the best practices from every single place that I'm in. And I have never had a problem of changing. Like, I'm a very innovative, and I remember when I was a kid before the university, people are not familiar, but I used to play with my family that I would like to be an ombudsman. That is that person that goes to the companies, look into their problems, and try to help them to improve the experiences in any way. And it wasn't that popular. I think the word got a little less, but then it became maybe the innovation, the innovation manager. That is something that we look into the problems inside the organizations and create methodologies for the teams to solve themselves with the knowledge that they already have. And also sometimes from outside knowledge that helps. But I'm a very, I'm a person that I have been playing football my entire life. So I had the possibility to meet and know a lot of people and connect. So makes me a very social person, which I like to be in contact with people. I learn a lot. And I think I also look at good examples for myself, which is important, to see what you are doing wrong or what you are not doing right or better, that could help you to improve yourself as a person, as a professional, and apply to any other areas. Just considering my academic background, I have been always care and looking for education. Like it was the only way to upgrade my level. So education was very important for me since the beginning. And that's from my academic side. So like my master's degree, I'm doing my PhD. So it's something that I really care about it. And nowadays teaching is somehow giving it back to the academic side, what I have been learned on my professional life and my personal life either, but in returning to the science and the society somehow.
Yeah. So, I love the fact that we started with growth mindset and curiosity as a beginning. And we see that this is like weaved into your life so clearly, that you're so used to doing change. Like everything that you've done is always growing and learning on the way. And first, I really appreciate that. I think it's really important to have that as a person, especially right now. So I think about what kids should know, and I always think that it's change. They need to know how to change.
Yeah, I'm a very optimistic person, so I think change. There are some conditions that are imposed by life to us, and we have to change whenever you don't want it.
Yeah.
But there are changes that it competes to us to do it. So it's pretty much about, if you want to generate new thoughts, you have to create new connections in your brain. And if you do and repeat the same, you are not going to do it. And it applies also to sports. Like I do know some evaluation about the different training systems. And I keep thinking how to develop, but I need support from other ones, to develop these ideas. But it's like, if you train a football for kids, and you put a kid to play, as a midfield since he started, and you never put him in other positions, even for just in a training sessions, they would never know how to be on the other position. And they need to know, because they're going to give the ball to the other ones. So once you are on that position, you know how they want to receive the ball. It's just a simple example, but it's like the rotation. You can do it to generate different insights in your own brain. But if you just play on the same for your entire life, you are limited. And I believe we are unlimited person. Like, everyone has the knowledge and the capacity to develop new skills and new thoughts. So change does not become more a challenge. It just becomes a normal thing in life that you accept, and you do not face with so many difficulties or barriers alongside the process. But change is, I think, is the proposal of life. No, we are changing every day, and we have every day the possibility to be a different person that we were the day before. So every new day is an opportunity to be alive. I think to be happy and share good things with our ecosystem, with our environment.
Yeah. So I first I want to thank you for that. I think it's really important to remember that we're all in the unknown, even if we feel that we know we don't. And like for me, it's like very obvious right now what's going on in Israel, the unknown situation, and what's going on in the world in general. So I think I totally agree that when we understand that we are all fragile and we all need each other, it's all you need to know in life. And other than that, it's like a bonus for you in life. So first, I want to thank you. It's been very, very interesting and insightful to talk to you, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to ask you where people could hear more about you and contact you if they want.
I can share my profile on LinkedIn. They can contact me over there. I think is the best way. I can also share my email address with them. I'm based in Barcelona. I'm at StartUB, the incubator and the accelerator of the Barcelona University. So everyone that just want to reach me out, feel free to just send me a message, to request a connection on LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to talk about innovation, sports, entrepreneurship, and see if I can collaborate with something for each one that I will be connected.
Sure.
Adi, I really want to say thank you for your invitation again, for this time with you. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. I really enjoy it. The way you conduct the interviews and the questions. I think it's just very friendly, very open-minded, and I think that's very important for us to keep building what we want to do it for the future generations.
Sure. Thank you, Matheus. It's been a pleasure. And to all of you change makers out there, thank you for joining us. And if you want to learn more about what I do, you're much welcome to visit invincibleinnovation.com. And I'll see you next week with another innovative, insightful talk. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm Mazor Kario, and you've been listening to the Invincible Innovation Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, invincibleinnovation.com, where you can learn more about our programs and my book, Innovating Through Chaos. I'll be waiting for you next week in our next episode. Thank you for listening.